You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
On Monday, Republicans confirmed Amy Coney Barrett to be the next Supreme Court justice. They ignored their own rules on the Senate Judiciary Committee. They ignored their own rules on the floor. They ignored what they said about Supreme Court nominees just 4 years ago when President Barack Obama nominated Merrick Garland. They ignored all precedent, confirming a Supreme Court nominee the closest that's ever happened to an election. The question is, what will Democrats do if they take control of the United States Senate? What will they do when it comes to COVID-19 and other issues? Senator Chuck Schumer is the minority leader of the Democrats. He joins us on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Senator Schumer, welcome back on the show.
Good evening, Roland. It's always great to be back. I hope you're healthy.
Yes, indeed, sir. I've been on the road. We've been in Florida and helping out Jamie Harrison in South Carolina. We were in Georgia with Warnock and Ossoff, and then we were with Gary Peters yesterday in Michigan, and then I will be in Jackson, Mississippi on Sunday with Mike Espy. And let me say this here. Oh, yeah. No, we've been on the road making it happen. Let me say this here.
And let me just say this.
Third time
the South is changing.
Yes.
And if we can elect some good African-American Democrats like Jamie Harrison, like Raphael Warnock, it took me 4 months I tried to get Stacey Abrams to run. She said no, but she said there's someone better than me, Raphael Warnock, and we got him. And Mike Espy, it's going to change America. It will make the South democratic. We're pushing very hard on those 3 races. Anyone from those 3 states, please, if you haven't voted, make sure you vote and get 5 of your friends to vote. We can win these 3 races.
Senator, there are a lot of progressives who say Democrats could have done more to stop the eventual confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett. What do you say to that?
Well, let me first say, before I answer you specifically, how despicable what McConnell did is. You outlined that very well at the beginning of this introduction, Roland. But let's not also forget, you've talked about it, the rights she's going to take away. She's going to take away our right to health care. She is going to take away a woman's right to choose. She is going to take away voting rights. She is going to take away civil rights. She is going to take away labor rights. She is going to take away our ability to build good climate. She is an awful nominee, and it will really affect the American people in a serious, serious way. We tried to do everything we could to stop her. Here's the problem. McConnell has so defiled the Senate that the tools in our toolbox are small and not very sharp. But we've used every single one. We recessed. We forced them to vote on keeping the ACA. We forced them to vote on not going to war. We made them adjourn 2 hours after so they couldn't do committee hearings. And, of course, we boycotted, as you all saw, the vote in the committee. And in place of our members was a C picture, very diverse group of young people, old people, middle-aged people who would lose their health care. That's what's at stake. So this is an awful nomination. I called it one of the darkest moments in Senate history. And McConnell has done the wrong thing. And if he thinks that it's going to be business as usual when we come back to the Senate, he's sadly mistaken.
And I'm glad you said that. I remember before the last time you were on, before the passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I said that Democrats should say, all right, Republicans, y'all don't want to play by the rules. Y'all didn't want, gentlemen's agreement. You want to sit here and do this here. Fine. We get the majority. We're going to be in control. And I've said, I really believe, Senator Schumer, that Democrats should flex that power, that Voting Rights Act, those bills that would be passed in the House, it should be, it should be not one bill a week, not one bill a day. It should be like a freight train that's running through the Senate when it comes to passing bills, dealing with the Voting Rights Act, restoring that, because the Supreme Court is going to hear Section 2 where they may very well gut that. When it comes to, of course, the George Floyd Act, when it comes to the CBC's Job and Justice Plan, those things need to happen. And then the Republicans say a word, your response should be, don't want to hear it because y'all told us The American people elected us. We have the authority to do so. The Constitution says so do we.
Roland, you're on the money. We are going to put H.R. 4, the Voting Rights Act, on the floor, H.R. 1, the Democracy Act, the George Floyd Justice Act, to restore some, end so much of the bad treatment people of color receive in law enforcement. We're going to do all those things and more. Here's what I've told my caucus. I said the last time Democrats had power, 2009 and 10, we had the House, we had the Senate, we had the presidency. We spent a year and a half doing one thing, a good thing, Obamacare, but it was much too long on one bill. We have to have big, strong, bold action across the board. That's going to take a lot of unity. That's going to take a lot of hard work, but we have to get it done. America demands it. And McConnell can say whatever he wants, as you said. After he so defiled the rules over the last 4 years, he has no standing, none.
And I think that when talking to the caucus, you're absolutely right. And I remember that you had some moderate to conservative Democrats who, let me just be clear, I felt were playing games. What then happened is Scott Brown wins the special election in Massachusetts, and then that put that pressure on the House and the Senate to actually get moving. But this, to me, is where people are saying, if you're going to sit here and be in the game, you got to play tough. And look, Republicans had the power. And the reality is, I know what you tried to stop. I know for me, of course, these far right-wing judges, for them to put this white woman on the bench, and I'm saying that for a reason. She's 33 years old, 8 years out of law school, rated unqualified, never been in the courtroom, is going to be a federal judge for life. If Catherine Mizell serves as long as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's going to be on the federal bench for 54 years, grossly unqualified, because Mitch McConnell said they were targeting jurists between 35 and 45. He made it clear. He said on Monday, point blank, that they could undo what we did in the Senate, but they cannot undo the courts. And out of all those federal judges, one African-American. Just one. Largely
you,
white
Roland,
men.
I've had a record of picking more people of color to the federal bench in New York, Black, Hispanic, Asian, LGBTQ, than any other senator has done. And I'm proud of that, and we'll continue that. But let me just say one more thing here. We are not doing this to just get back at McConnell. America has real trouble. We need a COVID bill. People are hurting, getting kicked out of their homes, can't feed their kids, losing their jobs, losing their small businesses. We need to do the things I mentioned in terms of criminal justice and voting rights. We need a big, strong climate bill. But the climate bill's got to pay attention to minorities and not let them get the short end of the stick. We need to do an infrastructure bill, and a bill that brings in women and minority-owned businesses to do some of the work and employ people. If we train several million people, which the bill requires, young people of color, to get these construction jobs, that's a godsend for people because these are good-paying jobs. So we have a whole big, broad program. I'm only listing a little of it, and we're going to fight as hard as we can to get all of it done, Mitch McConnell notwithstanding.
Senator Schumer, one of the things that, again, I'm glad you brought up black businesses. 2 years ago, now people may call it self-serving, but I advocate for black businesses across the board. 2 years ago, the National Newspaper Publishers Association got with Congressman Eleanor Holmes Norton, and they said they wanted to know what the federal government was spending on media. In a 5-year period, the federal government spent $5 billion on media. Black-owned media got $51 million of the $5 billion. That's 1%. Black ad agencies have been frozen out. One of the things that I would see, Senator, I really want to see Democrats in the Senate and the House challenge these federal agencies to give black media a fair share, because the reason we can't be bigger and grow is because we can't build capacity because we are frozen out. I want to see the Senate hold hearings to bring these ad agencies forward and say, why are you freezing out black businesses, black media as well? We will never be able to compete if they're simply they're not even throwing crumbs at us. They're throwing a crumb and saying, y'all split the crumb.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. I've always been for bringing many more minority businesses in the CARES bill. As you know, we took $15 billion and just labeled it, fenced it off, so MDIs, minority development institutions, and CFDIs could get the money. That's the kind of thing I believe in. And, you know, businesses, small businesses, have always been ladders up. And it helps people get from poor to the middle class. If minority people don't have those small businesses, those ladders are pulled up. So it's very important to do. One other thing we did in the bill that we can do again, working with the Baptist Church and the AME Church, we allowed the churches to get some of this COVID money because there's no collection plate and there's not money coming in. We got to make that stronger because the churches are a fundamental part of the social service network in the African American and many other communities as well.
Last question I have for you. If we talk about, obviously, look, Tuesday, folks are voting. You're hopeful that if Democrats pick up at least 3 seats and Biden-Harris wins, then you're now in control of the United States Senate. There were a lot of criticisms of Dianne Feinstein when it came to that Supreme Court hearing. And I think this is also where, when it comes to committee chairs, when it comes to folks who are going to be very aggressive in driving this agenda, I really believe that Democrats should use this opportunity, because I call this period we're in, Senator, the third Reconstruction. I really believe that Democrats should be looking at this moment in time, if Biden-Harris wins and you're able to get control of the United States Senate, in the same way radical Republicans drove through those Reconstruction amendments, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. If you have the numbers there, this is the moment to be able to change this country. We're 23 years away from America becoming a nation majority of people of color. And my viewers, my listeners, they are looking for aggressive action out of the gate the moment there's an inauguration and the moment that Congress is sworn into session.
Well, amen. We got a lot to do. The more senators we get, the better. We can do more with 55 or 56 than 51. So my final message, Roland, to your great audience is vote, vote, vote. And if you voted, make a promise to yourself and to America that you will get 5 people who haven't voted to go to the polls between now and Tuesday.
Well, Senator Schumer, I'm glad that you joined the show. This is the 3rd time you won this year. I've been trying to get your counterpart, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, on. So why don't you give her a call and tell her she can have a good time when she come on Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Hey, I always have a good time, and
well.
I will tell her just that, Roland.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Take care. Be safe. Thank you.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, the folks at Ceek.com, black-owned company founded by Mary Spio. They, of course, a virtual reality company. You can check out their content at Ceek.com, CEEK.com. You can do so, of course, with these VR headsets. You can look at it, of course, on your regular device or your pad or your computer. But if you want to experience being in the room, you can use this headset right here. All you simply do is just pop in your cell phone in here, pop it on, and then put this headset on, and you can literally experience their content in virtual reality. And so allows for you to do a 360-degree view of the room. But also, folks, they have the 360-degree 4D headphones right here. These are Bluetooth headphones. They have complete surround sound in terms of as you hear the particular music. Gamers love them as well when they're playing their games. And so it's just phenomenal bass in these headphones as well. You can get one or both devices at Ceek.com using this promo code RMVIP2020, RMVIP 2020. So we certainly thank the folks at Ceek.com for being a partner with us here at Roland Martin Unfiltered.